not get you, Commissioner.
You were saying that you were skeptical that the safe had been breached by grinding the door. So I'm saying, or rather I'm asking, what was your skepticism based on? Why were you skeptical?
Earlier on, Commissioner, I said that I had the owner of the landlord told us that this safe could never be breached without a key. So that caused my skepticism.
All right, thank you.
What is your suspicion? Because now you leave us guessing. I don't think you've quite answered Chair's question. Because you are saying you are skeptical that it could have been breached this way. So you might still be coming to it later, I don't know. But what is your suspicion? Because you say also here that you believe that it was staged.
I suspected it to be staged because I was under the impression that those strong rooms can never be accessed without a key.
Had the owner ever explained this view?
Yes. He used to come to the office, we will talk. He was an old man, very friendly.
Did he explain why he said?
He used to say it's a state-of-art strong room. But then I would have expected that this needed to be investigated further so that what the landlord said can be proved or disapproved.
All right, all right.
Can I ask a more direct question? Is it your suspicion, let me not call it a belief, is it your suspicion that the safe was opened first and the grinding happened after? Because reading between the lines, that's what it looks like you are saying here. And I could be wrong, so I need you to clarify that.
Commissioners, I'm not the expert. Hence, I'm saying, if we can get people who are expert in safes, they can clarify that. During the course of the day, there were scheduled interviews for the appointment of Lieutenant Colonel. General Senona and I returned to the office for those interviews, as well as scheduled civil unrest virtual meeting chaired by General Lebia. As I stated, Commissioners, every day we almost had those meetings around about 4 o'clock. And on this day too, there was the scheduled interviews for lieutenant colonels. To the best of my recollection, the theft docket was given to Brigadier Sbiya because General Senona suggested that General Detective investigate the matter until a final decision is made by senior management.
Sorry, Brigadier, can you just tell us what is General Detectives?
Okay. General Detectives are detectives from the subs because we are the Hawks and the motherboard, we call them motherboard, they've also got General Detectives.
So General Senona had suggested that the detective from SAPS conduct the investigation. Is that
initially, yes.
Initially, okay.
Yes.
Brigadier Sbiya that you're referring to here and Jones, were they from the SAPS therefore?
Yes. Brigadier Sbiya was the district commander for detectives who appointed Sergeant Jones.
Okay, thank you.
Or Warrant Officer Jones. Brigadier Sbiya was instructed to appoint a detective to investigate the matter. I later learned that Warrant Officer Jones was appointed as the investigator. On the 18th of November 2021, I met the then Deputy National Head of the DPCI, Lieutenant General Mosikile, and she informed me that the docket had been taken from the Potchefstroom detective and that it will be assigned to an investigator from the DPCI head office. This meant that the DPCI head office will be investigating the case.
Brigadier, in other words, DPCI would be investigating itself.
That's correct.
Okay.
Thereafter, I was introduced to Colonel Mojela and Captain Mashao as the investigating officers. Colonel Mojela used to work with General Senona at Gauteng DPCI. He was subsequently promoted to the rank of a brigadier and appointed to the same position as me in Northern Cape. I cooperated with the investigators. I was aware that the DPCI members were subjected to polygraph examination as part of the investigation, but I was not called for the polygraph examination. However, I recall that during that time, I was busy with the civil unrest matters and not involved at all with the Potchefstroom theft investigation. I do not know why I was not subjected to a polygraph test, but I would have taken it if so required, and I'm still prepared to take the test.
Brigadier, did you, my recollection of General Senona's evidence on the polygraph test is that he requested that all his subordinates be subjected to a polygraph test. You would have been one of those.
That's correct.
Did you ever become aware that he made that kind of a general request which would have included you?
No, commissioners.
Okay. Thank you.
My top secret security clearance was due to expire at the end of September 2023. In June 2023, after the theft, I applied for the renewal of my top secret security clearance. The process involves submitting references, bank statement, being interviewed by a vetting officer, and undergo a polygraph test. Although the questioning during the polygraph examination were not focused on the Potchefstroom theft, the question asked relate to whether you have ever been involved in corrupt activities, colluded with criminals, share information with criminals, and the likes. I passed the polygraph test and I was issued with my new top secret clearance certificate in March 2025. During his testimony before the commission, Warrant Officer Carl Sanders gave evidence regarding his move from SANAP to supply chain management in February 24. He testified that I was present in the meeting when General Senona informed him of the allegations together with other officials. I was on leave at the time and I was not present at that meeting. I've been informed by the commission that Warrant Officer Sanders has since looked at his diary entry of the day and confirmed that I was not present at the meeting. Although Warrant Officer Sanders was in my section, he reported to Lieutenant Kenneth Jacob as the SANAP team leader. I was surprised when I returned from the leave to find that Warrant Officer Sanders had been moved to support services at the provincial office. My General Senona did not consult me on this. General Senona merely informed me on my return from leave that a complaint had been received regarding Warrant Officer Sanders that needed to be investigated. The commission is in possession of the emails containing the complaint. The email was sent to General Lebia, who sent the email to General Senona with the instruction to reach out to the complainant, investigate the matter and report back on the progress by the 23rd of February 24. I am aware that General Senona assigned the complaint to Lieutenant Colonel Mchali to investigate. I will receive progress reports, consider same and submit to General Senona. I know that the NPA sent a letter to the complainant, but the complainant could not be traced. General Senona sent a progress report on the 29th of February 24, but I do not recall the content of the report. I know that the complainant could not be found. I assumed that the report would have been to inform General Lebia that the complainant could not be traced. However, the investigation continued because these were serious allegations. Prior to the February 2024 complaint, another complaint was received from the office of the DPCI judge in July 2023 about a certain captain who used to work at SANA, but the name of Warrant Officer Sanda was not mentioned. The complaint contained the captain, and the complaint was about white members of the KZN DPCI in SANEP and other units working with drug syndicate. Lieutenant Kenneth Jacob and Lieutenant Kenneth Dwarika were assigned to investigate the complaint, but to date, there has not been no outcome. I do not know whether the complaints were genuine or orchestrated. I must say also, I have submitted this report to the Commission. It's a very detailed report with pictures.
Brigadier, what is a DPCI judge?
The DPCI judge is the judge that oversees the DPCI. When members have complained about the conduct of the DPCI members, or when the DPCI members felt that there are some interference with their duties.
I'm drawing.
Yes. I think the substance was there. The substance was there.
The substance was there.
Was there.
All right,
Was there.
thank you. If that is so, then why question the genuineness? If there was substance, why question the genuineness of the complaints?
Maybe I wrote it because of us not getting hold of them, but there was substance.
All right, thank
I
you.
will retract the latter part, Commissioners. The genuine, whether the complaints were genuine or orchestrated.
Oh, all right. Also, so you're basically saying you are withdrawing that part that questions the genuineness.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Chair.
Maybe one last question on this. This captain and the other members, were they removed from their position? Is there any action that was taken? We know with Warrant Officer Sender that when the complaint was received, he was removed from his position. What happened with this?
The captain was already out of the SANEP, and he was a partner of, while he was in SANEP, was a partner of Warrant Officer Sanda.
And for the record, you say this latter complaint did not concern him, that is Warrant Officer Sanda. The latter one that we're debating now, you are saying it did not concern Warrant Officer Sanda.
Commissioner, I would say he was not mentioned
Yes. Okay.
in the report, in the complaint, but indirectly when you read, you could associate him to that, but his name was never mentioned.
All right. Thank you.